I'm ashamed, lost, scared, alone, and as my belly grows bigger and bigger, it is becoming more difficult to hide it. I'm so thankful to be up here to share about the incredible legacy of Boerne Young Life and how I am beautifully wrapped up in it. My earliest memories of, oh my gosh, I did not think I was going to have people beautiful. My earliest memories are of my parents having fights. I do not have a happy memory of us four prior to the divorce. Even then, I felt devastated when my parents told me the news that they were separating. At 6 years old, living in Mexico, I remember praying for the first time, don't take my dad away, God, keep my parents together. Shortly after the split, I felt confused and mad at why God didn't answer my prayers. We moved to the US and eventually landed in Marfa, Texas. It was us three, my mom, sister, and me, against the world. We were very close and did everything together. My dad began to check out. The calls stopped coming. The visits at that point were non-existent. Birthdays came and went with no call from my dad. I remember thinking as a little girl, I have been abandoned. Although my mom tried her absolute best to hide her pain from us, and for that I applaud her, I began to learn and see the intense anger she felt for my dad, and it affected everything. I became a very anxious kid, never feeling settled or peaceful, biting my nails, feeling nervous and lonely with lots of tension in our home. I met a boy in junior high. He made me feel wanted and chosen. He became a constant in my life. Everything else missing, or so I thought. I do want to be careful to not speak badly of my son's father, but I will say our relationship became scary and toxic very quickly. Because of this, ugly arguments arose in my house. Fast forward to 15 years old and I found out I was pregnant. I thought for sure that it was a joke. I didn't tell anyone for 20 weeks. Not my mom, not his family, no one. I celebrated my 16th birthday and spent summer vacation trying my best to hide the changes happening to my body. Now, revealing my pregnancy to my family is a whole other story, but let's just say that it was more difficult than most of you would expect. Although my family called my baby a blessing despite all of it, resentment grew with a lot more of I told you rather than I'm here. I met this random guy, Connor Travis, wherever you are, who had just taken a group of students to camp and had just moved to Marfa. A friend of mine told me about this super cool thing called Young Life and how there was a camp for teen moms. So I went up to this guy and I said, hey Connor, I'm pregnant. I heard you have a camp for teen moms and I want to go. He introduced me to Caroline, his then girlfriend, now wife, when I was 30 weeks pregnant. Caroline quickly became the only stable, solid person in my life. Where are you? I'm going to look at you. There you are. She told me the truth about my worth, talked to me about Jesus, read the Bible together, laughed with me, spent time with me, and called my baby a blessing rather than a situation to be ashamed of. She helped plan the baby shower and she gave me my son's first book by Ellie Holcomb called Who Sang the First Song. I read that book over and over and over. I was learning so much about the love of God as I read Ellie's words. I remember there's a part where it says, God says you are good and wonderfully made, and then I would never stop loving you all of my days. I had never thought of God feeling that way about me. I wanted my baby, when I named Emmanuel, God is with us, to know this love. So I read this book and would rock him to sleep on restless nights to the song Sing based on the book. That summer, Caroline took me and my then 6-month-old son to Young Life's camp. Our very own Courtney Garrison was the camp speaker. I remember her saying that when God made us, he called us very good. Saying that when God made us, he called us very good. There it was again. God thinks I am good. Courtney talked about God wanting to take all of the broken pieces of our story and our lives and make something beautiful out of it. She played a song, by you guessed it, called Rescue that talked about needing Jesus to rescue us all from the pain of this world. I found the missing piece in my life. The thing that would heal all of the brokenness and sadness and abandonment and shame. It was Jesus. He was and still is the answer. I decided that week to start a relationship with Jesus. Okay. Caroline continued to mentor me and teach me how to live and walk with Jesus. She became one of my bestest friends and ultimately family. Caroline also held my hand as we walked through some major ups and terrible downs. Quickly, I realized I needed to make a fresh start with just me, Jesus, and my son. I walked away from family and friends, toxic relationships and pain to start fresh, trusting Jesus alone for our future. Fast forward to today, my son and I moved to Boerne, the place where Caroline herself learned to walk with Jesus as a young life. And guess what? I am now a young life leader on staff. I'm on staff here mentoring teen moms and kids at Champion High School. Only God could write a story this great. The legacy of ministry of Young Life in this town has given me a chance to reach other girls and kids with the hope of Jesus that changed my life and gave me purpose and passion and hope. To all the leaders that pursued Caroline and Connor, you know who you are. Thank you. Because of you, they pursued me, and I met Jesus. I now get to do live every week with that camp speaker who shared the gospel with me. The Garrisons have become a second family to me. To the Petes, the Travises, and all of the other incredible people God has put into my life, we are overwhelmed by the goodness of God. My son's life will never be the same. My life will never be the same. I look up often at our lives and the people of Boerne Young Life, and I am in awe. Thank you, Jesus, for your faithfulness, and thank you for Boerne Young Life.
I just want to tell you that this was not planned. If you think we knew her story and then invited them, no. This was a year ago because they're famous people.